Well, it is supposed to be good morning, everyone. I'm not sure that I've made it by the morning, but we're pretty close. So I'll start by acknowledging the traditional owners of this country, the Gadigal, and pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Honourable ministers, members of Parliament, executives, ladies, gentlemen, and those of you who haven't decided where you are yet. K92. We've used the title "Building the Next World-Class Gold Mine in Papua New Guinea." There obviously are a few, and we think we have the ability to develop the next one. We'll start, as always, with a forward-looking and cautionary statement, and that pretty much should take up the entire presentation, I think, while you read it. Alternately, we do send you a copy to your hotel, and it'll help you sleep tonight. So, Kainantu Gold Mine. Location, we're about 200 k's up the road from Lae, Sealed Road all the way up. We are in the Eastern Highlands, but we sit in the Markham Valley. So we're in a very wide valley, probably the best location of any mine in Papua New Guinea. We've got obviously sealed road access, grid power, etc., etc. And for PNG, we are in the desert. It's only 2 to 2.5 meters of rain a year. So when you look at our strategy, it's been to realize and maximize the potential of the Kainantu project. And do that by operating in a socially responsible manner, delivering far-reaching positive impacts for our communities, our stakeholders in Papua New Guinea. How do we do that? We invest in exploration. We're the largest explorer in Papua New Guinea. We have been for a number of years. The focus of our exploration, expansion of the Kainantu mine, and discovery of new vein and porphyry deposits, which our Vice President Chris Muller will talk to in more detail tomorrow. We invest in our people. We've grown our workforce from 130 people when we acquired the project in 2015 to currently about 1,650. And that'll increase by the end of next year to 2,000 and to about 2,500 by the end of 26. We've got multiple training programs established to develop our workforce skills. Invest in expansion. Based on our exploration success, which has been recognized by the PDAC with the Thayer Lindsley Award for the Best Global Discovery in 2021, which is the first in Papua New Guinea. We've expanded the project from when we acquired it, a capacity of 150,000 tons per annum, to currently the last quarter achieved almost equivalent of 600,000 tons per annum. So a four-fold increase. And by the time we get through our stage 3 and stage 4 expansion in 26, 1.7 to 1.8 million tons per annum. So that's over a 10-fold increase in our capacity. And then in the creation of a low-cost, highly profitable mine, which maximizes returns to all of our stakeholders. The lowest cost mine in Papua New Guinea, cash cost. While we're building this mine and expanding, our cash costs are around $600 an ounce, and they go down from there to the point where we get our all-in sustaining costs sitting around below $700 an ounce. So when we look at our sustainable social development strategy, the focus, we focus on 6 areas: business development, joint ventures, sustainable development programs, infrastructure, training and skills development, and probably most importantly, for the longer term for Papua New Guinea, we believe education. It's important to share in the success, and that's something that we try and focus on at Kainantu. Strong focus on that prosperity and development of PNG, and especially our local communities. We brought significant near-term, long-term benefits to our local landowners and communities, and it's something that we're really passionate about and that we see as a key to our business. Community investment, employment, taxes, royalties, capital investment, exploration, all of those numbers highlight our commitment to our project, our people, and our country, Papua New Guinea. Importantly, this year, we established the Kainantu Trust Fund. Like many companies, we have short-term investments, incentives, we have long-term incentives. Long-term incentives focusing on shares and as a means for people to recognize that they contribute to the success of the company in share price, in driving share price. But that takes care of our top 20%. And so we looked at how do we get everybody involved? How do we get everybody to identify with our company? And so we now have this trust fund where every single employee is a shareholder in our company. And on an annual basis, we monetize part of that shareholding and it gets distributed to our employees. There's something like 900 employees will benefit from that for the first time next week. Happy Christmas. With an average of 1,400 kina per person, and that'll increase because this is the first year that we've done it. So, local hiring. We spent about 68 million on salaries and benefits in 2022. Obviously that figure was higher this year. And as I said, we're at 1,650 workforce in 2023. When we look at our employees, 94% of those are Papua New Guineans, 53% from Eastern Highlands and our areas, 41% from other parts of PNG. I can't say that we have people from every province, but we probably do. And we've got 6% expatriates. So we are a very, very low percentage in terms of our expatriates, despite the fact that we are currently the only underground mine in Papua New Guinea, hopefully not for long. Female employment is an area that we focused on. We have managed to grow it, but as many would be aware, we're not allowed to employ women in underground positions in Papua New Guinea, although we have just taken on our first female mining engineer with the expectation of a change to that and something that we engaged with the mining minister and the prime minister on. So local hiring initiatives complement our local procurement and our business development strategies. I spoke about education as being something that we feel very passionate about. We think that investing in education is investing in the future of the country, but it's also investing in the future of our business. We have multiple memorandums of understanding with a variety of universities and technical colleges. We initiated a program of scholarships specifically in mining, metallurgy, and geology in 21. We've expanded that to include women in mining, and more recently also a graduate program which is the Tuki Angus Memorial, who was our chairman, who passed away this year. And like many people who work in the industry, he was a lawyer. We never held that against him, and we always allowed him to be part of our team. We have about 40 scholarships for our local community. So that's tertiary education, and we contribute to the program which is run by the governor and our local member, the Honourable William Hagahuno, where it's for all of the people around Kainantu, and I think we put about 500,000 kina into that. 1 million comes from the Honourable member and 1 million from the governor. So we really try and focus on that. We focus on our schools and building both infrastructure and providing additional income into the schools. And then obviously focusing on the technical and semi-professional training, which is, I guess we all know, a key area for us as we look to expand our operations and have more operations come in, which obviously increase the demand in those particular areas. Developing local business through joint ventures. We spent over 80 million in procurement in 2022 in PNG. About 60% of our procurement comes from Papua New Guinea. And as you can see, we've been growing it every year. 75 million in joint venture payments in addition to that to PNG, to our people in PNG. One of the great initiatives of this country and governments past was the tax credit scheme. It's almost unique in the world, not quite, but it's almost unique in the world. We're now participating in that. Our first project is the sealing of the Konkua Road to Bilamoya. We spent money upgrading that over the last couple of years. Now we're going to be sealing it. So that's a great initiative and allows you to return benefits to your immediate community and your province. There's just some of the photographs highlighting some of our community programs. Greenhouse gas, we're 66% lower intensity than the average, and we're intending to reduce that by 25% by 2030. We're in the fortunate position that we're on grid power from Yonki Dam, so we're hydroelectric. And with our expansion coming up, we're looking to expand, help PNG Power expand the amount of power that they bring into the mine. In terms of our sustainability reports, I would encourage you to have a look on our website. As you can see, there's some of our highlights. 94% Papua New Guineans. End of last year, almost 1,500. 286 procurement in PNG in 2022. 112 million in taxes and royalties, etc. So, systematic execution and delivery to become a tier 1 mid-tier producer. We completed stage 2, 400,000 tonne per annum expansion in the middle of COVID. Not one contractor or consultant from overseas during the entire process. We had a few of them on teams for hours on end, but not one of them in country. We successfully completed that, moved into stage 2A, completed that earlier this year, and we've now moved into stage 3, stage 4, following the renewal of our mining license at this venue last year. So stage 3 takes us to 300,000 ounces per annum. Stage 4, 1.7 million will take us to 470,000 ounces a year. 12 months is a long time in our business. That was 12 months ago with the minister signing our extension to our mining lease, and we immediately committed to the stage 3, stage 4 expansion. When we look at that, that delivers significant immediate economic benefits to PNG. As you can see, our capital expenditure and exploration expenditure, 1.6 billion. 2.5 billion export value over just this 3 years, 2023, 24, 25. Government and landowner benefits, 375 million in that short 3-year period while we're doing the expansion. So we're expanding while we still pay corporate tax. It's the beauty of expanding a high-grade mine to be even bigger high-grade mine. So last year, the big announcement obviously was for us, not for everyone else, but for us was the extension of our mining license. This year, last week, we announced an update of our resource. The resource that stage 3 and stage 4 are based on 4.9 million ounces. It's 2 years old. We've mined 300,000 of those ounces, so we're down to 4.6. 2 years of drilling, we've added another 2.5 million ounces. So we increased our resource by over 50% in 2 years. Current prices, that adds $5 billion in country. In country, and yeah, well, I think it's in ground as well. Adds another 5 years plus to our project. completed in under 2 years, during which we were the largest explorer in the country. And we'll spend a record amount on exploration this year, and we plan to increase it next year. So while we're expanding and spending money and capital on expansion, we're also increasing the amount that we spend on exploration. So when you look at what does that mean, that's 2017 when we drilled our discovery hole, and that's what we looked like as a resource. We increased it to 4.9 million ounces October 2021, and now we've increased it again as of September this year. And I can tell you, for instance, that the twin incline, which you can see at the bottom there coming in, we've been developing in so that we can start mining in those bottom levels and ramping up over 100 meters below the known resource at Judd, 100 meters away from it. We intersected 4.8 meters, 15 grams per ton, not in that resource. So it'll keep expanding. So it's efficient and systematic exploration. Our discovery costs are under $10 an ounce. That shows what you can do in this country. And a lot of people talk about the high cost of exploration. Industry average is around 50. We're finding it for $10 an ounce. So very simply, stage 3, it's a 140% increase on stage 2A. Peak production over 300,000 ounces. This is high grade. Life of mine is over 9 grams per ton. All-in sustaining cost of $732 an ounce. That's gold equivalent. Near term, well, we're doing it right now. Stage 4, we come in at below $700 an ounce, all-in sustaining cost for our gold equivalent. Or if you take the copper as a credit, less than $450. Part of that expansion, the process plant, a bit over $80 million. That's a contract with GR Engineering Services. That is a lump sum fixed price contract. We're incredibly good at reading the market. We waited to put this contract in place until all of the people who were trying to build stuff at the end of COVID had done that, and then we went to the market. That's actually rubbish. That's the time that it was, but it sounds better if you say you knew what you were doing. So the next big item is the paste fill plant, and the paste fill plant is about $50 million. We've almost completed the front-end engineering of that. We'll award that contract next month. But right now, basically, our contracts are lining up pretty much with the numbers that came out of our feasibility study. So we are looking at spending around $300 million US over a 2-year period that started sort of mid-year 2023 through until mid-25, and we'll be spending about $200 million in capital and sustaining capital next year. The near-term transformation of the mine, twin incline, we committed to the twin incline, which you can see down the bottom there, 3 years ago. At that time, there was no resource down there, but one of our guys had watched Field of Dreams, build it and they will come, and he said, build it and we'll get you a resource. So we built it, we've got the resource. In addition to that, we're putting in an ore pass system. We've just had, our first raise bore has arrived, so we'll be raise boring our ore pass system, which will allow us then to utilize that twin system from our existing operational areas. We're busy putting in the Puma vent incline, which improves our ventilation. And then finally, as I mentioned, paste fill. 60% of our tailings will go back underground. So one of only 2 mines in the country that operate a tailings dam. You do a major expansion and you actually reduce the amount of tailings you put in the tailings dam. That's smart mining. So when we look at the twin incline, the picture on the left, I hope it's on the left, it's on my left, hopefully it's yours, is the existing incline that we acquired from Barrick. And on the right is the one that we've been building. There is a slight difference you may notice in those. One of them we can get a 40, 45 ton truck down at 10 kilometers an hour. The other one we can do a 70, 80 ton truck at about 40 kilometers an hour. In terms of mining, we're currently mining in one area, but that will be expanding to a number of areas over the next few years. We look at our expansion, exploration. You can see our expenditure peaking and how it's going to continue thanks to our exploration success. Creating jobs, 2,000 by the end of this year, going up to 2,500 in 26. Large contributor to export for Papua New Guinea, growing, and again, due to our exploration success, we get up to 2.5 billion a year and we'll stay there. Contributor to local economy, almost 500 million peak, and again, we will continue to operate at that thanks to our exploration success. Taxes, royalties, distribution to landowners, again, we're peaking at something like 600 million kina a year, and we'll see that continue thanks to our exploration success. And it's almost a billion kina that we're bringing in total benefits. And again, exploration allows us to keep doing that. Multiple high-grade targets, exploration. I'd certainly encourage you to come along tomorrow, listen to Chris Muller, where he'll talk about some of our exploration potential. I'll highlight Maniapi and Arakompa. We're just about to start a drilling program there. Historical resource, 800,000 ounces, 9 grams per ton, hasn't been drilled for 25 years. Where else in the world but Papua New Guinea can you have that 2 kilometers from an existing mine? That's just showing some of our potential. There's that area 100 meters below any known resource for Judd. Looks really, I just like the photograph. It looks really nice. And as you can see, 4.6 meters at almost 15 grams per ton. You can make money from that. Increasing copper as we go to the south. And so with that, again, exploration, Chris will be talking about tomorrow. I'll thank you for your time today. Obviously, you all want to go out and buy shares. I fully understand that. Apparently, they will give you a 5-minute window with your mobile phones that you'll be allowed to use them while you talk to your broker. Thank you very much.